The university knew better. It could have done more to prepare. And I hope that the university will take this as a learning opportunity and to prepare better for the future.
Hey, everybody. Mark Trammell here with the Center for American Liberty. So last night I gave an interview to the NBC affiliate in San Francisco about the situation at UC Berkeley.
So what exactly happened last night on the Cal campus? The U.S. Attorney General says the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force and the DOJ are now investigating those protests outside the Turning Point event at UC Berkeley.
And, you know, anytime you're talking to a media outlet, you get just a short soundbite that gets on the air. I wanted to just take a minute today to just kind of expound a little bit on what I said there. I think we all saw the videos going viral on social media after the Turning Point USA event at the UC Berkeley campus. We all saw those videos where tear gas is in the air, where there's a mob of people, shouting slurs at people as they're leaving the event at Zellerbach Auditorium. There's a physical assault and there are arrests being made, a truly unruly situation outside of an event that was there to foster free speech and the exchange of ideas at the very university that prides itself as being the birthplace of the free speech movement. So 2017, Harmeet and I sued Berkeley together over free speech. At the time, I was counsel to Young America's Foundation, and we were working with the Berkeley College Republicans. In 2017, Cal Berkeley would not allow Ben Shapiro, Ann Coulter, and David Horowitz to speak on campus. In fact, interestingly, Ben was not being allowed to speak, or at least the balcony was not being allowed to be used in Zellerbach Auditorium. Now, fast forward earlier this week, it's that same Zellerbach Auditorium that's really central to the issue. 2017, those events were not allowed to happen because the university was censoring speech within the walls of the auditorium. Fast forward today, the university, after we won that suit back in 2017, the university had to change its policies. Today, that event that was able to happen, right? So there was able to be this discourse within the walls of Zellerbach Auditorium. The issue here is that outside of the walls of Zellerbach Auditorium, the university really failed to protect the First Amendment on its campus. And so I think what's really important here is to realize that it's not enough for Berkeley to simply allow for students to attend an event in Zellerbach. They need to make sure that there's a peaceful way for students and other attendees to leave the event without being, fearful of their lives. I think we put this in context. It wasn't that long ago in Utah, right, when an assassin killed Charlie Kirk at a free speech event on a college campus. UC Berkeley and the whole world after that tragedy were on notice that sometimes the community reacts really poorly to free speech. Zellerbach and the UC Berkeley campus, there's a long history of people responding really poorly to free speech. The university had to have known that something could have happened earlier this week at this event. They should have known, and they should have made, the plans to protect attendees in a much better way. So I think if you're attending that event and you walk out and you're forced to walk through this mob of people, I don't think you're approaching that with this idea that you can freely and safely get to your car or to your public transit and be able to get home. And so actually, I think it's actually pretty nefarious what the university did here, where the university should have known, they did know that something could happen, that people would feel very, very unsafe leaving this event. They failed to adequately secure outside of Zellerbach. And it's this facilitated form of mob intimidation that is intended to chill free speech. So yeah, you can have the event in Zellerbach, but if you can't leave freely, it's going to chill anyone from being able to go to future events where Turning Point's on campus or YAF or whoever it is who's on the Cal Berkeley campus. And I think that's the design, right? To keep disfavored viewpoints off campus. I was really encouraged earlier this week, I guess it was last night, that my good friend and our founder of the Center for American Liberty, Harmeet Dhillon, announced on social media, or at least pontificated on social media, that she intends to look into this situation further, and that she, the DOJ, it looks like, will be opening a investigation into Berkeley. I was asked specifically about that tweet from Harmeet when I gave my interview last night. And I'll share with you what I shared with that reporter. Transparency into government institutions is a good thing. Regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, government transparency is a good thing. So I'm really encouraged to see that the Department of Justice is taking this seriously, that they're looking into the matter, that they're investigating what happened, because we have to do better on college campuses. We have to return college campuses to this marketplace of ideas where the best ideas can rise to the top. And these terrible ideas, these far leftist Antifa-like ideas can, die by the wayside. Right now, what's happening in places like Berkeley, I think the administration has its thumb on that marketplace, and it's allowing for a really terrible far left socialist ideas to be not just taught, but really to be for students to be brainwashed by them, because they're not allowing for counter arguments to be presented in a fair and a safe manner. So places like Berkeley, they've got to do better. If they want to be the birthplace of the free speech movement, we expect a significantly better response from them. We'll see what the future holds, but at a minimum, I'm very, very encouraged that the Department of Justice is taking action.